Winston? Winston? Come back with that leg of lamb.
What is it about chocolate brownies, the ultimate comfort food? Kids love them. Wait, we all love them, with caramel sauce and whipped cream and ice cream and nuts on top and everything, or even just cold and sliced into little fingers for afternoon tea, just as the Queen used to eat them. You can even have them, and I've seen them, with grated zucchini in them. Whatever way we enjoy them, it's all about the sentimental feeling, the nostalgia, the home-baked foods. No, it's not. It's about the chocolate. I'm sharing with you today the royal recipe that I used to prepare for Prince William and Harry at Kensington Palace when they were young boys. And it has a secret ingredient in there that if Nanny ever found out, I would have been in real trouble. We start off with a large bowl, and in there we've got some chocolate chips and some butter. And the first thing we've got to do is melt them together. Once the chocolate and butter have melted, then you're just going to whisk them together until they all come together. Then you can start adding the rest of the ingredients. First, some sugar. I know, lots of sugar. I use unsalted butter in the mix because we can control how much salt then we put in. So just a tiny pinch of salt in there. Next, I'm going to put some vanilla extract and some eggs. Brownies were invented in the 1800s at the Palmer House Hotel for a ladies' box lunch event. And these brownies were decorated with apricot glaze and a layer of walnuts. See, that's another way you can serve them. Next, we're going to add some flour. And then, my secret ingredient, some espresso coffee. Adding espresso to the chocolate brownies really intensifies the flavor and gives it a real richness, a real depth, but it also supercharges with energy, you know, with that caffeine and all that sugar. It supercharges the chocolate and the brownies. But that was the problem, because it also used to supercharge William and Harry. And for the rest of the afternoon, they were running around like this at Kensington Palace, and Nanny would go ballistic. The most popular addition to brownies all across the country, in fact the world, is actually walnuts. People love having walnuts in there. William and Harry would never eat walnuts. They were nuts enough anyway. So they loved more chocolate in there. So more chocolate chips. Just fold it in. Once the chocolate chips are all mixed in, then we can pour it into the greased tray. Why are they called brownies? Well, because they're brown. I mean, they'd look silly calling them blondies, wouldn't they? Carefully spread it into all the corners. And then it's going into the oven, 350 degrees, for about 12 to 15 minutes. But notice on the brownies, you see that beautiful shine on there. When it goes in the oven, it has a beautiful shine, but when it comes out, we want it a real dull, matte color, and that helps to tell us that it's cooked. Once the brownie comes out of the oven, you can see it's really pale now. It's lost that shine, but it's firm to touch on the top, but it's still going to be soft underneath. Although there's many different additions into the brownies, there's also different textures too. So if you want more of a fudge brownie, like this recipe, then you don't add baking soda, baking powder. If you want more of a cake brownie, then that's a little more flour and some baking powder or baking soda in there. And if you want the chewy brownies, then you add more eggs to the recipe. Oh, so confusing. We've got to let it cool now before we can start cutting into it. But you really don't have to let it cool if you don't want to, because straight from the oven, this spooned into little sundae dishes with some whipped cream, some ice cream, some caramel sauce and some nuts. That's delicious. We're gonna let it cool. Once the brownies have cooled down, then we can cut into them. And I like to just cut off the edges. We don't waste them, that's the chef's treat. But they do look prettier. Once I've trimmed off all the edges and eaten them, then it makes it easier to cut up the brownies into just nice, even portions. So I always start off in half, go in half, and then in half again, and then in half again. Turn it sideways, half, down the middle. And again down the middle in half. And finally, half again. And onto the plate. Look at those gorgeous fudge brownies, chewy in the bottom there and nice and crispy crunchy on the top. Absolutely gorgeous fudge brownies. Look at that. Crispy crunchy on the top, gooey soft in the center. Beautiful brownies, easy to make in just a few minutes. Better than those packet mix ones. Decadent espresso fudge brownies. You can make these at home. A little cocoa powder on the top there, just to finish them off. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up, leave a comment below, share with your friends. Not just my video, but the brownies too. Make some at home. Aren't they delicious? Leave a comment below and tell me what your favorite brownies are. And I'll see you again soon.